It was a quiet Thursday night, one of those late autumn evenings when the rain comes and goes, whispering against the windows, never quite letting you forget it's there. I live alone, in a small one-bedroom apartment on the edge of town. It's not a bad area, but not exactly safe either. The kind of place where you double-lock your door out of habit, not paranoia. That night, I remember falling asleep around midnight after watching a few random YouTube videos, nothing serious, just noise to keep the loneliness away. I'd been having trouble sleeping lately, waking up at odd hours, feeling like something was slightly off. Around 2:47 a.m., I woke up abruptly. The sound that woke me wasn't my phone or the rain. It was the sound of metal turning, slow, deliberate, unmistakable. Someone was unlocking my front door. At first, I thought maybe I'd imagined it, that I was still half asleep. But then it came again, the distinct click of the lock, followed by the slow creak of the door handle being turned. My blood froze. I live on the second floor. There's no reason anyone should be at my door at that hour. I remember sitting perfectly still, barely breathing, listening. The handle turned a little more, then stopped. For a few seconds, there was silence. I could hear only the rain tapping gently on the balcony. I tried to convince myself it was just the neighbor, maybe someone drunk trying the wrong door. But then, the door opened. I heard the faintest squeak of the hinges. I recognized that sound too well, because I'd meant to oil them for weeks. I didn't move. My phone was on the nightstand. I reached for it slowly, keeping my eyes fixed on the dark hallway beyond my bedroom door. The glow of the screen lit up my hand, and I saw the time again, 2:48 a.m. The moment I unlocked my phone, the noise stopped. Nothing. No footsteps. No breathing. Just silence thick enough to hear my own pulse. I waited. 1 minute. Then 2. I wanted to call 911, but what would I even say? Someone opened my door, but now they're gone? I stared at the hallway. I could barely make out the shape of the doorway, faintly outlined by the dim streetlight filtering through the living room window. And then, I saw it, a shadow. Not moving, not walking. Just standing. I froze. It was faint, like someone was standing perfectly still, half inside the doorway, half out. My throat went dry. I couldn't tell if it was real or a trick of the light. I blinked, and the shadow didn't move. Slowly, I slid my legs off the bed, trying not to make a sound. The floorboards creaked anyway. That's when I heard it, breathing. Deep. Slow. Close. Someone was inside. My first instinct was to pretend I was still asleep, but I already knew that wouldn't help. Whoever was in my apartment had already seen me move. The air felt charged, like before a lightning strike. The kind of silence that isn't empty but listening. I gripped my phone tight and inched backward, eyes never leaving the dark hallway. The breathing grew louder. Not like someone panting, it was slow, uneven, heavy. It sounded like it came from deep in the chest, the way someone might breathe if they'd been watching you for a long time. I don't know how long I sat there, maybe seconds, maybe a full minute, before I forced myself to whisper, "Who's there?" No answer. But the breathing stopped. That made it worse. I could hear the faint dripping of rain outside again, a car passing somewhere far below. Then, from the darkness, a soft shuffle of feet. One step. Then another. I could make out a shape now, tall, thin, shoulders slumped slightly forward. Whoever it was moved with a strange slowness, like they were gliding, not walking. I raised my phone a little higher and opened the flashlight. The beam shot across the hallway, empty. Nothing. My heart was hammering so hard I could feel it in my neck. I took a shaky step forward, shining the light toward the living room. The door was wide open. Rain was blowing in through the gap, making a small wet trail across the floor. I could feel the cold air from outside, real, sharp, undeniable. Which meant the door had been opened. I stepped closer, scanning every corner. My couch. Empty. Kitchen. Empty. I was about to reach for the door to slam it shut when I heard something, a faint sound behind me. A whisper. I turned the flashlight, nothing. But then, I saw it in the corner of my phone screen's reflection. A silhouette standing in my bedroom doorway. I spun around, but the hallway was empty again. That's when I realized something else. The whisper I'd heard wasn't just random. It was my name. Soft. Drawn out. Alex. I don't know if it was male or female, it was just low, distorted, like it came from a throat that hadn't spoken in years. I backed toward the door, my body trembling so hard the light shook across the walls. My brain was screaming, "Get out, get out, get out." I ran. I didn't even grab my shoes. I bolted down the hallway and into the stairwell, my bare feet slapping against the cold concrete. I didn't look back. I didn't stop until I was standing outside in the rain, chest heaving, my breath turning to fog in the night air. From down below, I looked up at my apartment window. The curtains were open. The light from my phone, still on, flickered weakly through the glass. And then, slowly, as if someone knew I was watching, the curtain moved. Someone was still in there. I called the police that night, still standing barefoot in the rain. They arrived fast, 2 officers with flashlights and calm voices that didn't match the panic in mine. They searched every corner of my apartment, opening closets, checking under the bed, even scanning the stairwell. Nothing. No footprints, no signs of forced entry, no broken lock. The door, they said, was perfectly fine. One of them, the older officer, looked at me the way people look at someone who might be imagining things. "You probably forgot to lock it," he said. Storms make strange sounds, and the mind fills in the rest. I wanted to argue. I knew I'd locked that door. I'd heard the handle twist. I'd seen the shape. But there was no point. They told me to get some rest and left. That night, I slept with the lights on. For a few days, everything felt normal again. But then, little things started happening. My kitchen chair would be slightly pulled out when I woke up. The bathroom door would be half open even though I always closed it before sleeping. Once, I found a spoon lying on the floor, bent clean in half. I started to think maybe the cops were right. Maybe I was stressed, imagining things, losing track of reality. Then came the 4th night. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, when I saw something odd in the reflection of my screen, movement, behind me. My heart stopped. I turned slowly toward the mirror across the room. At first, I didn't see anything. But then, a shape began to form in the reflection. Not clear. Not solid. Like fog gathering into a human outline. It was standing right next to my bed. I froze. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. The reflection tilted its head slightly, as if studying me. Then it leaned closer, until its face, or what should have been its face, was inches from mine in the mirror. I could feel the air go cold against my cheek, like someone breathing near my skin. And then I heard it again. "Alex." That same whisper. But this time, it came from inside my ear. I bolted upright, stumbled backward, and fell hard against the wall. The mirror cracked. The sound echoed through the room like breaking ice. And as the glass fractured, I saw, for just a second, eyes staring out from behind it. Not human eyes. Hollow, grey, unblinking. I grabbed my keys, ran out again, didn't stop until I reached my car. I sat there until sunrise, shaking. I didn't go back to the apartment for 2 days. When I finally did, everything was exactly how I'd left it, except one thing. The mirror on the bedroom wall was gone. Not broken. Not fallen. Gone. Just an empty space, a faint outline where it used to hang. I called my landlord. He swore no one had been inside. He even showed me the building's security footage. That's when I stopped breathing. Because at 3:11 a.m., the exact time I'd heard the whisper, the camera showed my apartment door opening from the inside. No one entered. No one left. The door just opened and then slowly closed again. I moved out that same night. It's been 3 months now. I live in a different city, in a place with no mirrors. I don't tell people what happened, because I know how it sounds. But sometimes, when I'm about to sleep, I hear faint breathing near my ear. And once, just once, when I looked at the black screen of my phone in the dark, I thought I saw a faint reflection behind me. A face I can't forget. And the whisper that never really stopped. Alex. Moral: some doors, once opened, never close again. And not all intruders come from the outside.